Real Enigmas and Theories is back again with another video. Yeah, you've seen it before. That tiny countdown timer urging you to stay just a little bit longer. One more episode. Just one more cliffhanger. One more night of accidental binge watching. But have you ever stopped to think about how this simple design choice has changed the way we watch TV forever? It's not just about convenience, it's about control, psychology, and maybe something a little more sinister. Tonight, we're breaking down how binge watching has transformed the way we consume entertainment, how it's rewiring our brain, and where this trend might be leading us in the future. We're also going to explore all of the esoteric connections hidden within our screens, from the sacred geometry to numerology, and even the occult concepts of channeling, casting, and black mirrors. Let's cook. To understand how binge watching took over, we need to look at where it all began. Rewind your mind back to the early 2000s when cable TV had everything on lock. And if you wanted to catch your favorite TV show, you better be on that couch at 8 p.m. sharp. You miss it, tough shit. You just gotta wait for a rerun and eventually catch it on DVD or VHS with a quick stop down the Blockbuster video. Then in 1998, Netflix's first DV, Beetlejuice, was shipped out on March 10th. And shipping out DVDs was cool and everything, but everything changed with streaming in 2007. By 2013, Netflix dropped all episodes of its original series House of Cards and Orange is the New Black all at once, and then boom, binging was born. No more waiting a week between episodes. You could watch an entire season in a day if you wanted to, and people did. Viewers loved it and subscriptions increased. Streaming giants noticed the potential bag, and just like that, the floodgates opened. So how exactly did binge watching change the way we view TV? For starters, it completely shifted how shows are written, structured, released, and even cast. I know you remember the classic previously on montages that they would play at the beginning of each episode. Well, they're practically extinct now because you just watched it. Writers no longer need to remind you what just happened last week. Everything is pretty much fresh in your mind. And if we do get a recap, there's a skip recap option so we can get right to the dopamine. Story arcs in these shows have also evolved. Instead of self-contained episodes with a start, middle, and end, bingeable shows are designed more like 8 to 10 hour movies, and each episode is just a chapter in the larger story. This has led to richer, more complex narratives that even show up in traditional TV experiences. However, in binge watching, it doesn't even give the viewer a chance to breathe and digest what they just watched. And that's pretty much the point. Streaming services don't want you to stop. They use autoplay features, cliffhanger endings, and dopamine-triggered plot twists to keep you hooked. It's basically the TV version of Just One More Chip, except it's episode. And instead of chips, you're eating hours of your life. Now let's cook a little bit. Take a look at your TV and your phone screens. What do they have in common? Okay, modern phone screens and TV screens are built to the dimensions that adhere to the golden ratio, also known as the Fibonacci sequence. Unlike the 4:3 ratio of old school televisions, modern screens like 16:9 match the dimensions that resonate with natural proportions of beauty, balance, and attraction. We find that same golden ratio on our credit cards, our identification cards, and they both bear our signatures. We also find the golden ratio in portals within a building or a house by way of the windows and the door. But there's more even if we expand beyond the golden ratio. We encounter other ancient symbols as well, like the Vesica Piscis, which is formed by two overlapping circles. This shape represents a portal or a gateway. It's a sacred form seen in religious art, architecture, and the foundational geometry of reality itself. Now think about it. Every time you enter a TV channel or load a streaming app, you're symbolically stepping through a gateway into another world or portal. Even old school VHS tapes adhered to the golden ratio as well, or the Fibonacci sequence. In more modern forms of media like CDs and DVDs, display the circle within a circle, which is the ancient symbol for the source of information. And it's funny that on a disc or a CD, there were pretty much circles of information encoded within the disc itself. The screen itself becomes more than a medium. It becomes a mirror or a scrying device, like a black mirror. There's actually a Netflix TV show called Black Mirror where they explore these concepts of control in the future. In ancient times, seers would gaze into black obsidian mirrors to receive visions. Today, we're doing the same thing with TVs and smartphones. The very concept of TV channel takes on a new meaning when we consider channeling in the esoteric sense. Channeling, as in the act of becoming a conduit for outside forces. Just like mediums channel spirits, TV channels direct and transmit specific energies, thoughts, and emotions straight into your mind. And it doesn't stop there. When a show's cast is projected into this space, it's not just entertainment, it's a ritual. The term casting holds a deeper meaning. Think about it. In ceremonial magic, casting a circle is a core ritual act, creating a protected, controlled space for the manifestation of intention. Like casting an actor in a production, then casting them onto a screen places them into a designated space to project specific archetypes and energies to a collective psyche. Every episode you watch is more than a story, it's a ritual in motion. Rituals are performed, symbols are displayed, and archetypes are seeded directly into your subconscious. The emotional highs and lows of a show's drama are not unlike the emotional swings experienced during rituals, where actual emotional release is a part of the transformative process. As you laugh, cry, or feel fear alongside the characters, you become an active participant in the ritual. In many ways, the spell is cast and you are a part of it. Every time you repeat a show's catchphrase or mimic a character's actions or invest emotionally in their story, you're participating in the ritual. But there's something deeper at play. This process mirrors aspects of transcendental meditation. During the meditation, the repetition of a mantra is used to shift your mind state, opening a channel for higher consciousness. Similar to when you engage with the show's repeated symbols, phrases, or archetypes, you're entering into a trance-like state that's designed to imprint ideas, values, and emotions into your subconscious. There's no way around that, right? They want you to invest into what they're creating. Consider how easily a show's catchphrase can get stuck into your head or their theme song. That's not by chance. This repetition is a psychological technique used in everything from advertising all the way to ceremonial magic. In transcendental meditation, the repetitive cycle is meant to transcend the conscious mind. But in binge watching, it's designed to pull you deeper into the show's world. And while it may seem harmless, rituals have powers. They imprint meaning into your psyche and shape how you think, feel, and even act. So binge watching may seem harmless, but the effects run deeper than most of us realize. Let's break down some of them. First, you have the mental fatigue and cognitive overload. Your brain is bombarded with nonstop information, but without time to reflect or process it, like when you would watch it from week to week. This can affect your long-term memory, leaving you feeling mentally exhausted. Then you have sleep disruption. You tell yourself it's just one more episode, and then suddenly it's 3 a.m. The blue light from your screen is also suppressing melatonin, which makes it harder to fall asleep. And then the sleep debt adds up fast. And then on a more serious note, you have the emotional manipulation. These television shows are designed to pull you through a roller coaster of highs and lows, laughter, fear, excitement, sadness, and in all-in-one binge, these emotional swings can cause stress, anxiety, mood swings. Just like a lot of ritual ceremonies, they can bind you to the experience. Then you have the decreased patience and impulse control. And that's a big one, because when you're used to the instant payoff on autoplay and cliffhangers, you may notice yourself seeking that immediate gratification in other areas of your life. It's not just TV, it's rewiring how you think, which could lead to isolation, loneliness, physical health issues. I mean, there's a lot to go on. I can go on on that part. But just be mindful of what you're watching, what you're digesting, and more importantly, have an understanding of some of the things that you're seeing and exploring. So the next time you're 6 episodes deep at 2 a.m. in the morning, ask yourself, who's channeling who? Be mindful of what you're watching. The symbols, stories, and the rituals are never just as simple as they seem. And you're not just a viewer, you're a participant. So now that you've seen what's behind the curtain, here's what you can do about it. Awareness is the first step. Next time you see that countdown timer and it starts tempting you, pause and take a deep breath and just ask yourself if I'm watching it by choice or if I'm watching it by conditioning. And if this exploration resonates with you, consider sharing it with somebody. And I implore you to help me get the conversation started in the comments. Have you ever noticed these patterns before? And how do you feel about the idea of binge watching is more than just a pastime? Have you noticed the modern rituals with the psychological and esoteric layers within television and real life? Anyway, just a little something to think about while we wait on the next episode. That's all for my video today. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.